right, we made it. We're here. Woo! Welcome, everyone, to the 2022 NR2F1 Family and Scientific Foundation, or Scientific Conference. We're all here. We've had a couple of hiccups over the past couple of years. I don't know if you all heard what happened, but so glad to see everyone. This is why we're up here, sitting here, and seeing you all here is just fantastic. So I wanted to start off with a little cheer. So I'm going to say BBSOAS, and then you say strong. All right? You ready? Yeah. Okay. BBSOAS. Strong. One more time. BBSOAS. Strong. All right. Okay. First of all, I would like to thank our sponsors. We have the Epilepsy Foundation, a silver sponsor. And then we have Paramark Real Estate, also a silver sponsor, and it was actually a BBSOAS parent, Megan Dolling, who hooked us up with that. So thank you to Megan. And Sniffville is also a silver sponsor. Lauren Bader-Gill and John Gill are also BBSOAS parents who hooked us up with that. So thank you so much. And a huge thank you as well to the Aquino family for reaching out to us and offering a gift matching campaign to kind of kickstart the conference. And after 2 years of running the foundation during a pandemic, it was pretty rough as far as fundraising goes. And they stepped up and said, we want to help, and they did, and they really got us going with the entire conference. So thank you so much to the Aquino family. All right. Without further ado, I will get started on the history of the NR2F Foundation, the birth of the NR2F1 Foundation. You go ahead and get started with the presentation. Thank you. Okay. So the birth of the NR2F1 Foundation. First, you know what I'd like to do, actually? I was going to wait, but let me introduce the board members. We'll get that going first. So right here we have the NR2F1 Foundation board, all BBSOAS parents. If you could go ahead and introduce yourselves, your name, your kiddo, how old your kiddo is, where you live, what you do for a living outside of the foundation, and why you joined the board. So, Erin, would you like to start? I think.
My name is Erin Camper, and my BBSOAS kiddo is Colton. He is 8, and then he has 2 big sisters who are 12 and 13, and they are a little more challenging than him most days. We live in Colorado in a little town called Timnath, just outside of Fort Collins. And I am a registered nurse. I mostly take care of Colton, and then I also do private duty nursing for other kids with medical needs. And I also work for our Parent Training and Information Center in Colorado, helping other parents navigate the often frustrating systems of special education and healthcare. I joined the board because I saw that somebody was leaving, and Colton is kind of, I feel like that's kind of my job, is managing him, but I wanted to do something bigger outside of just our family and try to make a difference for other families. So I got in touch with Carly and said I wanted to join, and here I am. So that's me in a nutshell, and I'm super, super excited to be here.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jen Nichol. I don't know if I'm blocked a little bit here. I'm the mother to Maggie Nichol, who is 10 years old. She was diagnosed, I think, when she was about 3 years old. I'm also the mother to 2 of her older siblings, Finn and Declan. They're 14 and 12, and their dad is Eric. My background is I am a probation officer. I've lived outside of Philadelphia for my whole life, and I've been a probation officer for over 20 years. like I said, Maggie was diagnosed, I think when she was about 3, and then we had the first conference maybe 4 or 5 years ago was when it was.
2018.
2018. I had met several, at the time I was calling them NR2F1 moms online after I had seen Lola's mother's blog. That was, changed my world. I thought, I could have written this. This was amazing. And once I found her blog, I found Meredith, and then I found Carly, and subsequently several other moms. We had talked for probably, I feel like a few years, or maybe it was a year. We started the Facebook page, and then the conference happened, and wanted to get involved, and wanted to be able to do something for Maggie when it was, I didn't feel like the doctors could do anything at the time. And that's hard when you feel a little bit powerless with a child like Maggie or any of our kids. So that was the reason I wanted to be a part of the board, was to see if I could make any difference in her life, because it's definitely a challenge. That's it. It's nice to meet you all.
Hi, my name is Stephanie Fountain, and I'm mom to a 7-year-old little girl, Charlotte. Charlotte is my child with BBSOAS. I also have a 9-year-old son, Jack. We live in Dayton, Ohio, and I am a former 3rd grade teacher and now a stay-at-home mom. So I have a little bit of extra time on my hands, but kind of like Erin was saying, I'm Charlotte's full-time caregiver. And when I heard about the foundation starting, I just saw it as a great opportunity for me to, like Erin said, just get involved in something bigger. I remember being so nervous when we found out that we received her diagnosis, and we were on our way to the geneticist's office. And in my mind, I was just prepared for them to answer all of my questions and hand me all of this literature and to give me a name and to go on and log on to a website and see other kids. And unfortunately, none of that happened, as I'm sure many of you can relate to. I went home and I Googled, and there was no website. I couldn't find a Facebook group. And it was really disheartening. And so when I met Carly and I heard that she was trying to do this really big thing and that she wanted to create a website and start a foundation and fund research, I just remember feeling just a sense of that this was something that I could contribute to. When you're a special needs parent, so much is out of your control, right? You can't do much to change the hand that you've been dealt. But I really felt like this was a way for me to contribute and to help, and it's been a great journey so far. That's about it.
We'll share the microphone. So I'm Melissa Thalen. This is Jeff Thalen. Sorry.
She speaks for me a lot.
We are the parents of Haley, who's 5 years old, and live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. For work, I actually work in software sales.
I work in finance and accounting for a biotech company.
And we joined the board kind of as a collaborative, I guess, because Jeff's specialty is finance. And so he stepped up to be the treasurer. And I at first just kind of took on some special projects for us. Those special projects landed us in the Disorder Film Festival, where we really saw the need for more research and a more research focus. And so that's where I've kind of taken on my role in the board.
Yeah, and I think a lot of my motivations kind of consistent with Stephanie's, where when Haley had her diagnosis, there really was nothing out there. There was no website. There was, no community. So I think it was very important for me to be on the board.
Okay, thank you. These are my heroes right here. Yeah. I asked them to say what they did for a living because I wanted to stress that, running this foundation is a labor of love, and we all have outside jobs and work that we do. And I also wanted to mention that we are looking for new board members, so if you're interested, tomorrow, well, anytime you can contact us, but tomorrow at the Family Day at the tennis courts, we'll have some more information about being a board member and what that entails. And you can have a full-time job, and you can have a whole different life, but you can still participate and help out if you can. And the video that they're talking about in the Rare Disease Film Festival is called Hope for Haley, and it's on our YouTube channel, so you should check it out if you haven't already. Okay, so we will get into the birth of the foundation. We'll try that again. Okay, the birth of the NR2F1 Foundation. In 2014, there were 6. My daughter, Sidel, is she still here?
Yeah, she's on the floor.
Okay. Well, where else would she be? Sidel was diagnosed via exome sequencing shortly after the first publication of the discovery of BBSOAS. I'm sure this publication looks very familiar to a lot of you. She was 18 months old, and as you can all relate on the deepest of levels, this swiftly and abruptly altered the path that we had planned for our daughter and our life as a family. So the 6 other patients in the study were the only other people that I knew that lived with BBSOAS, but I couldn't contact them for privacy reasons. So several months later, I found out from our geneticist that there was a young boy in California, San Diego, recently diagnosed with BBSOAS as well. I was elated. I immediately asked the geneticist if he could connect us. So he passed on my information, and they reached out to me. And over the next few months, we emailed, we called each other, we shared stories, we talked on the phone. Then came the day when Sidel and I took a trip to San Diego to meet them. And to our surprise, we also got to meet another young boy living in Southern California. It was an emotional and powerful experience. We no longer felt alone. We were now 3 families sharing the journey of rare disease, and this was only the beginning. And as you all know, we can never underestimate the power of parent advocacy. So, the 2 families led to 3, then 4, then 5, and in order to broaden our reach to the other families out there living with BBSOAS, we decided to start a Facebook group, as Stephanie mentioned. The number of families grew to about 30 when someone asked the simple but important question, can we meet? Where can we meet? Let's get together. So I contacted Dr. Schaff, who was still at Texas Children's Hospital, Baylor College of Medicine, and I asked him the same question. And he said, sure, yeah, we'll help get the families together. So in April 2018, at the Texas Children's Hospital and Baylor College of Medicine, they hosted the first ever BBSOAS Family and Scientific Conference. Nearly all those known to be diagnosed with BBSOAS came, which is pretty amazing. We cried, we laughed, and we even danced. It was at this conference that a small group of us decided more needed to be done, and we needed to get organized. In November 2018, 6 months after the conference, the NR2F1 Foundation incorporated and became official. Here are the co-founders, all BBSOAS parents. We have Melissa and Jeff from Pennsylvania, myself from California at the time, Stephanie Fountain from Ohio, Jen Farabee from Massachusetts, Jen Nichol from Pennsylvania, and Meredith Howell from Indiana. And of course, you've met the board currently. And again, join us. We already have an interested board member coming up to join us. So our mission, as you all know, is to empower families and individuals living with rare NR2F1 variants through education, awareness, and research. And the vision of our foundation is that every single family and individual living with NR2F1 variants will live an empowered and limitless life. For us, collaboration is key to fulfilling our mission. And since 2018, we have joined forces with organizations such as the Global Genes Rare Foundation Alliance, Rare Epilepsy Network, Combined Brain, and of course our sister foundation, NR2F1 France. In 2021, the NR2F Foundation Global Alliance was established to dismantle the silos that we were working in for BBSOAS. In the rare disease community, what happens is a lot of these little foundations like ours and these groups, with the ultra rare count, 200, 300, even less, we tend to work in these silos. We work independently, trying to get things done, trying to get research and attention and awareness, where it would be much more powerful and effective if we could all join forces, because many of these rare diseases, neurodevelopmental rare diseases, share common phenotypes and symptoms. So it was very important us to start this global alliance to reach out to all these other nonprofit, research, government, academic, and industry organizations to drive international research. Again, the Global Alliance highlights the importance of transparency and connectedness in dismantling the silos we are working in to further our collective goal of BBSOAS awareness, education, support, and research. So far, the Global Alliance consists of NR2F1 France, Combined Brain, and the Schaff Laboratory with Dr. Schaff at Heidelberg University. And we have more in the pipeline for 2022, so stay tuned. So, since, I guess I would say 2014, we have gone from nothing on the internet, no website, no Facebook. I think if you go, yeah, that's Adele. I think if you, at the time, I remember same as Stephanie, when I Googled BBSOAS, that research publication turned up, and that was it. That was it. And even then, I couldn't access the publication, I had to purchase it. So I am extremely proud and grateful that you're all here, because since then we have grown to this huge BBS community and beyond. We have monthly Zoom chats with families. We have our website, nr2f1.org. We have a private Facebook group. We have our quarterly newsletter, The Voice. And we have several different research projects in the pipeline, in the works, and at the University of Heidelberg with Dr. Schaff, University of Nice with Dr. Studer. And we have a new scientific officer, Dr. Kyle Horning, assisting us with our BBSOAS research roadmap, which you'll all hear about shortly. And then, of course, our first ever BBSOAS patient registry launch, which is launching today. Yay! And you'll learn more about it, but I will say this is probably the most important thing that we can do as a community to pursue research and to further research and to push forward and learn more about what is BBSOAS. And of course, we can only do it with all your help and your participation, but we'll talk more about that later. And of course, various ways to contact us up there as well. In the end, all of this is for them. It's for our kids. It's for our families. And it's for all the future families to come. Thank you. Because we are not alone. We are BBSOAS. Oh, come on. BBSOAS. Yes, thank you very much.